Faithless electors, they're everything in the news, with election 2020 taking as long as COVID.
However, many states require their electors to follow the popular vote. Under Iowa law, the vote is canceled if an elector doesn't vote as pledged.
And we've seen everything. President Trump and his team of wackos have tried everything to multiple recounts. In fact, we helped find more votes for President-elect Biden. Legal has failed as of this recording. He's 1 for 58 in 2 losses in the United States Supreme Court, which the president over the weekend said they didn't do their job.
Court found calling an election unfair does not make it so. Charges require specific allegations and then proof. We have neither here.
The Supreme Court slamming the door on the president Friday night, throwing out a case brought by the state of Texas against 4 battleground states carried by Joe Biden.
Is it they didn't do their job, or they did their job and you're just crazy? I'm not going to leave. Look, I'm here. I won. If I say it, it happens. And it's probably true in his head and his folks that showed up over the weekend for this Trump rally.
Stop the steal! Stop the steal! Stop the steal! Stop the steal!
This isn't over. It's not even close to being over.
I don't know what they were rallying for. Stop the steal. The problem with them saying stop the steal and worrying about faithless electors, which is the point of this series, is really what were they protesting if nothing's been stolen? Nobody has found anything that's stolen. No fraud, no anything. In fact, under oath, his legal team says there's nothing.
This is from Bill Barr. He made the break from the president in an interview with the Associated Press, said FBI investigated and could find no proof.
There's the other crazies, but they don't count. I mean, we did have Alex Jones go up in front of the audience and tell them that, wish harm on President-elect Biden. But that's an episode for a different color. Even our friends from the Proud Boys lied over the weekend and claimed that they were going to the White House as an invite. They were just taking a tour, which, if you're considered a threat by Homeland Security, I don't think you should be taking any tours of our White House. I'm just saying. That's just, it's odd, right? It's odd. I mean, he agrees. I mean, Grogu was here. He agrees. We've had a legal challenge this fall. Hey, and Trump is so desperate with these faithless electors, he's even tried to do an executive order that said November 3rd was actually opposite day. I guess that's where he gets the theory that he won. See, and no, to be clear, these faithless electors, I know it sounds like one of those really bad books that you see with the really buff dude and the blonde gal who looks like a Playboy meets Barbie on the front cover. Your grandma's probably read them like mine. But no, it's not one of those steamy novels. Faithless electors are truly, when it comes to what Trump is doing, they are an incredible long shot. And by long shot, I mean long shot. I'm talking super long shot. Like, there's very small, slim chances, as we've lost twice in the Supreme Court. I don't see it happening.
Faithless electors almost never have flipped and voted for an opponent, and Bickers says it's even less likely this year.
It's really hard to imagine an elector doing that.
So the likelihood of the faithless elector happening is like this. It's as likely as that Rudy Giuliani makes the front cover of Men's Health. Not going to happen, so you don't have to worry. But what we're going to break down today on another episode of So You Want to Know is who is a faithless elector, what is a faithless elector, and how can they overturn the election? How can they do this? Trump has been talking about it for months now, about how he always had these guys in his hip pocket. We've seen 126 elected congresspeople go and say they support the president. We had multiple states jump in with Texas over not liking what other states are doing, which, as you saw from the response from the Supreme Court, yeah, dream on. That it's great that you don't like it, but that's not your business. Here's the thing about faithless electors. Now, growing up, we were all believed that when you vote, the person with the most votes wins, right? That's basically the way we look at it. When we vote for everything, that's how it is. The one with the most votes. If we're sports fans, who votes for MVP, the Heisman Trophy, the WNBA MVP, all of these things come from voting, and the one with the most popular. Now, election time is different when we vote for elected officials, especially the president. And why is that? Well, our forefathers wanted to make sure that we wouldn't screw it up and that we wouldn't put a turd in office, because they actually believed back in the day that nobody actually could handle all this information.
That delegates to the Electoral College who are not bound to vote according to their state's popular vote could declare for Trump, even though their state went to Biden. Technically, yes, but some states penalize.
So, a lot of people believe this, how votes work, that one vote goes to one person, and that's not how it is. I mean, it's kind of like growing up that you believe that your baby brother was brought in by a stork. That's not how it happened, because there were noises coming from mom and dad's office room, and then 9 months later, the stork brought the baby. That's how that happened. Duh. What do you think? I was going to be dirty? Come on.
The U.S. Constitution outlines the roles of electors. The country has 538 total, and a candidate needs 270 to win. After an election, the electors meet on the first Monday after the second Wednesday in December to cast their ballots. That will be December 14th this year.
The system is much more complex than one person, one vote, because that's not how it is. And it's done, like I said, to prevent from us getting a shitty president. And it's failed a number of times. And it was said in the Federalist Papers by Alexander Hamilton. You've probably heard of Alexander Hamilton. You have, I guarantee, if you live in America, you've heard of the play Hamilton. Now, that's an actual human being. It's history. Sorry if you're a Trump supporter and you're like, oh my God, I watched it. There was a lot of black people. I don't know if I can continue watching it. There were. Amazing Broadway performance. If you haven't seen it, go check it out. It's on Disney+. But the Federalist Papers 68, Alexander Hamilton said the following. He said, "The office of the president will never fall to the lot of any man who is not in the eminent degree endowed of the request qualification." It sounds so much better when Lin-Manuel sings that than me reading it to you. But it is true that they want to make sure the person is qualified. Now, it's funny because you sit here and you're going, well, what do you mean? Well, let's just break this down. When our forefathers wrote this, number one, information wasn't passed around like it is today, where it's like, hold on, what? The U.S. Army, the U.S. Army seriously went and took Dominion servers in Germany. What? There were people that were taking votes illegally? Oh, no. You know what I'm talking about. Oh, the score. Oh, anyways, it's also the same people. That's why we live in, right? This information age where people are just always looking at their phones and we can get this information. But back in the day, they weren't getting it. And actually, a lot of people weren't smart enough. They didn't believe people would do the research and find out about who they were voting for. They just simply knew that they could vote for a Democrat or Republican. And that's why they do it. So, truthfully, Americans don't vote for a president. We vote for a slate of electors. True story. And those electors, they go on and vote for the president. I don't make these rules up. This is how it's listed.
Let's talk about faithless electors, or a member of the Electoral College that doesn't vote for the candidate they pledged to vote for. According to the National Archives, there is no constitutional provision or federal law that requires electors to vote according to their results of the popular vote in their state.
So we vote for electors who then go and vote for president. Now, that's kind of to break it down. If you need that broken down in a similar way, think of it when you were in high school and you went to go buy beer. It was easier to bribe the homeless guy or the bum on the side of the building, give him 20, it gives him street cred, and you get beer, you look cool, and the girls like you. At least I'm giving away my story. Shout out to the homeless that bought me beer. You're welcome. Shout out to Orangeville, California, for the greatest liquor store that everyone used. The same bum. That bum probably made a lot of money. He probably isn't even a bum. I'm so wrong calling him a bum. But homeless person. Bum, homeless person. Bum's probably politically incorrect, but this show is politically incorrect. So I digress. Why they put these electors in is basically like child-proof the country. Because we can't be trusted. Back then we couldn't be trusted, and now we can't. We have all these devices of people just walking around screaming dumb shit all the time. Like, the election is a fraud. It was stolen.
I think Trump is a unifier.
This isn't over. It's not even close to being over.
It's like a trick question when you ask him, well, where's your evidence? Because everybody under oath, under penalty of being disbarred, says there is no evidence. But, hey, Trump still says he won. He won if there was legal votes, which so far every vote's legal. And he says he got the most votes, but no, he lost by 6 million. So therefore, yeah, you fooled 73 million idiots to believe you, probably diehard staunch Republicans that are probably now regretting voting for this clown who's decimated their party.
The president turned to fury with his handling of coronavirus.
Damn it, we voted for him.
They are lifelong Republicans who supported him 4 years ago, but won't again.
Over the weekend, we actually saw these crazy people dancing around on stage, doing shitty rap music, wearing stupid Make America Great Again hats, and then getting on stage and denouncing the Republican Party. These folks went from Republicans to a cult like that.
Gun-toting, Bible-reading, God-believing, truth-speaking American, this magazine, Democrats committing treason.
That's what these folks are. They're culties. They're worse than they're worse than Scientologists. At least Scientologists go and have careers and they're successful and they don't throw it in your face. These people throw it in your face, buy stupid-ass flags, and say stupid, racist-ass shit whenever they can. They continue to call people communist and socialist. Raise your hand. Class, raise your hand if you've been called a socialist or a communist in the last 3 weeks. He even put his hand, Grogu put his hand up. He did, because he's even been called a communist. And Grogu I don't know what the hell he is, but he's not a communist. I know it, because he's my bud, and he's not a communist. Anyways, so you're asking, faithless electors, what does this mean? Well, for the history books, 176 faithless electors have voted differently. In past elections, 2016 in the state of Washington, 4 cast their votes differently. One went to Colin Powell, another went to an amazing Native American woman native to the state of Washington and very well known, and the other one went to some random person. Also in another election, a presidential election with John Kerry, people actually voted for in Minnesota, one of the electors actually voted for his VP and spelled his name wrong. It's only happened 167 times, but out of the 43% of those faithless electors, they changed their vote because the person they were going to vote for died before they were able to take their office. So therefore, that's what they did. Now, this is where it gets fun as we wrap up here. 33 states require electors to vote for the pledge candidate. And you could be like, Eric, that's great. That means we won. Not so quick. Au contraire, mon frere. It could be fine. And we could be. It's a long shot. He's down a ton of electoral votes. It will take a lot of bribery. The man does have a lot of money. He's the most shady, slimeball, piece of crap, racist person that we've ever put in the White House. But there is a possibility. And it's a long shot because the downfall is yes, 33 states have this. But those 33 states, it's nothing more than a fine. You actually get a heftier ticket from running a stoplight than you do changing your vote for being bribed. That's true. It's not even a misdemeanor. I mean, when I was a kid, I could have got more for holding than I could have got for anything else. So they don't get in trouble for it. But I mean, Trump is down by so many high numbers. So at the end of the day, the faithless electors don't do anything. But what this does, and this is something consistently with Donald Trump, is if there's a loophole or something not closed off, he has been able to find it. He's like, I don't care. Gentleman agreement? We don't have gentlemen. Have you read Art of the Deal? It's my second favorite book besides the Bible. Don't ask me what my favorite verse is. I like all of them. All the disciples, they all voted for me. They like me. Not Sleepy Joe. But it's true. At the end of the day, he is down by a lot. But he's found all the loopholes. And before our next election cycle, in 2 and 4 years, we need to go and clean this up. We now need to tie this off. Electors need to be held accountable. If the people vote for someone, they need to be assured that it's going to be who we voted for and not swayed by bribery or any other thing. This is America, and bribing people and swaying votes like the 126 scumbags that went against their oath of office and stood with the president not because it was the American thing to do. No. They did it because they fear the man, because he goes on a smear contest, as you could see by tweets over the weekend, attacking the governor of Georgia and Arizona, calling them rhino. This is what we deal with on a daily basis. It's disappointing. These folks should not sit in Congress moving forward. They have disgusted their oath of office. And Dan Crenshaw, you're already guilty of a whole bunch of shit that you're getting away to walk away with by the media ignoring what's going on with the Secretary of VA Wilkie. But my friend, you're guilty of shit. And you once again sucked up to the president. You're an embarrassment not only to your uniform you wore as a Navy SEAL, but as a congressman from the great state of Texas. And that is another issue. Texas, what the hell's going on? You now want to secede from the Union again? Good luck with that on your own trying to survive. People will leave. Yes, everyone is fleeing California to go to Austin, which is a liberal safe haven because that's where all the companies go there. It's cheaper. It's not because they admire you and they're like, shit, no, they like the fact that it's cheaper. That's why Oracle's moving there. That's why Tesla just moved there. That's why Joe Rogan films his show there. I can give you 189 million Spotify dollars why Joe Rogan moved there. But faithless electors at the end of the day, let's go back and wrap this up. Faithless electors at the end of the day are what keeps America, it can be dangerous. And we need to change the way that these folks do that. Make the punishment for changing your vote and being bribed something better than a slap on the hand. But we should be safe. On January 20th, we will elect President-elect Joe Biden and Vice President Kamala Harris, and we should be okay. Donald Trump will fade off into the sunset. We can only hope. I might run again. I don't know. I have baby desk, and we never know. But that's how we'll do it. So we can only hope that everything goes the way it should. Like I said, it's a Hail Mary. I don't see it happening, but we need to fix it by 2024. That's all I'm saying. Hopefully you learned a little bit about faithless electors, because that is our show today. Make sure you tune in, smash that subscribe button because we want to see you. Follow us on all your favorite social media channels. And as always, I'm Eric Mitchell. Stay safe.